All right, guys, real quick before we start the video, I just got to say two things. I have two questions for you. Number one, is your game taking a very long time to load up? When I press play on the Epic Games launcher to when I get in the game, it's 8 minutes. That wasn't like that before. Is anybody else having the next same issue? And lastly, what do you guys think of the Storm King fight being in Battle Royale? Are you mad? Do you feel like we got the short end of the stick again? Are you upset about it? Or do you think it's good cross promotion for Save the World? Hopefully that means free to plays around the corner. I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions because it's blowing up on Reddit. It was a huge conversation in my stream this morning. I'm curious what you guys have to think. So if you can take a minute and just let me know down in the comments below, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get into the video after this one more thing. I would love to hear your thoughts and about that as well. One last thing, remember, we're doing the charity event this Saturday, November 2nd, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you can come by the stream, I have 4 swag bags to give away full of Fortnite merchandise, plus you can win like a new graphics card and stuff if you choose to donate. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Big disclaimer on this video: the black metal set is not complete. We don't have the team perk that allows all of the stuff to kind of synergize better than currently. But on that note, it's actually not too bad. There are 4 weapons out currently. Just a quick recap of them. My favorites are the shotgun in number 1, the spear in number 2, the assault rifle in number 3, and we're not gonna talk about the sniper. They are completely and utterly unique within the game in terms of a 6th perk. The 6th perk on these guns is something brand new and, in my opinion, probably one of the better perks in the game. Today we're going to be talking about the shotgun, the Black Drum. In my opinion, it's the best weapon that we have in the set so far. So let's take a look at the weapon itself. DPS of 112,000, 135 crit, 135 crit, 30 critical rating, physical, and a unique 6th perk of adds up to 80% bonus damage based on the percentage of missing health. This is huge, but we're going to talk about that in a second. Let's talk about the other unique passive of this gun. Stunning or knocking back an enemy reduces your current health by 12.5% and deals 29 through 127 base damage based on the percentage of your missing health in a 0.75 tile radius. Can only occur every 6 seconds. Now, there are a bunch of different perks that you can get with these. Eliminating 3 enemies. There's another one where reload happens every time you reload. And I believe there's 1 or 2 more headshots maybe. There are a few different versions of this perk. Without fully testing them, I'm going to assume that the ones you're looking for are one of 2. Eliminating 3 enemies with this weapon, especially on a shotgun, is something that you want. The radius of the bullet spread on this gun is huge. You can kill 3 enemies easily with just 1 button press. The other one you're looking for most likely is the reload speed one. So what happens is you reload, you lose a portion of your health, and your next shot is going to have the explosion on it. The reason you are looking for these 2 is because there's no cooldown timers on them. You can see on this one, it can only occur every 6 seconds, and there's some other negative modifiers like that to the other ones as well. There's not one for the reload, and there's not one for the eliminate the enemy. So in my humble opinion, those are the 2 you should be looking at. Let's talk about the damage. 29 to 127 base damage is crazy good. It's really, really strong in this game. It's not actually 29 to 127. Of course, it scales off of your ability modifiers. And I've seen some crazy numbers. I believe I've seen 425,000 on this buff alone, not even including the gun damage, just the explosion. I'm pretty sure it can crit, and I've seen it hit for, I believe, 425,000, around there. I'm gonna have to look through the footage while editing. I think so. That's insane. If there's no cooldown on it, every 3 enemies, you can kill 3 enemies with a shotgun in 1 button press. The shotgun's really good. We'll talk about why in just a second. The last thing I want to talk about is this 6th perk. adds up to 80% bonus damage based on the percentage of your health. Now, remember when I said we couldn't actually give a fair review of these guns because we were missing characters? If we take a look at C-Bot and what he does, you'll notice that he has an interesting perk to himself. We can't use it on the shotgun, and that's what we're recording with, or that's what we're doing today. But he has Ow My Eye. We're not worried about the phantasm part. We're talking about the 50% base damage. Now, you'd have to assume that we're going to get a ninja, a soldier, a constructor, and what's the last one? An outlander. One of these is going to have some sort of increased damage somewhere. They're all most likely going to. One's probably going to be melee, he's headshot, etc. That is a huge increase because as long as you're sitting at the spot where your health actually starts to regen on its own, that through our testing, that seems to be the 80% gap. Is it exactly 80%? I'm not 100% sure, but you know, like when you take damage, your shield goes away, your health goes away. If you let your shield come back up, your health will regenerate a slight portion. Right there is the maximum amount of damage. However, check this out. So we have 80% bonus damage here. And then if you take a build like him, you have another 50%. That's 130% bonus damage. No matter what. As long as you're sitting at that threshold. Which is pretty crazy. The only other ability in the entire game that gives you numbers like that is either Paleo Luna, which averages out to about 140,000 damage, and on Lynx, whose assault rifle damage or range damage after the kunai flip while you're floating is 140%. But that is very, very situational and not necessarily worth it in any scenario, really. Because of that perk, that 80% bonus damage, once we get the final team perk, etc., there may be an argument to run something more like stability, fire rate, reload speed, maybe base damage, and then this perk, allowing your gun to do more damage, 80% guaranteed bonus damage no matter what, plus the base damage of the gun and a possibility of a crit. DPS wise, it might fare slightly better against a crit chance, crit damage build. It might. I haven't tested this yet. We're still waiting on the other perks, but there is an argument there, very similar to Paleo Luna and attack speed. Kind of the same concept, where you're using the inherent damage that comes with the bonus perk, and you're abusing that by doing attack speed, reload speed, you know, fire rate, stuff like that. That might be a thing. We'll have to go back on that, and we'll try to do more of it when we go over the spear. The damage is good, but it's very, very situational. So let's take one last look at the shotgun. Just keep that in mind. That's 130% base damage. You have to kind of finagle and micromanage your health. But, I mean, I didn't mind it. I didn't really notice myself dying a lot. And the shotgun, at least, does enough damage to, even if you don't have that extra 80% damage on that last perk, you will still be one-shotting mainly anything. The weapons do have flaws though, and we're going to talk about them right now. I don't have the shotgun, but I do have the pistol, so just all of the rolls are the same except for the 6th perk. So just imagine this is the shotgun, because like I said, they're all the same, and I don't have the shotgun yet. So we're going to take, I keep thinking it's a pistol, man. It looks like a pistol. Doesn't this look like a pistol? It looks like a pistol. Anywho, let's go to modify perks. Now you have a bunch of different ways you can roll this, which is pretty cool. I enjoy that. The weapons are very inaccurate and they're clanky. I don't know of another word. Clunky and clanky, but they do hit hard. We went with crit damage, crit rating here. The reason is because crit rating, crit damage you put on almost all of your weapons. The unique 6th perk, or I'm sorry, the unique 5th perk, the only other options you have are reload speed, impact, and damage to mist monsters. So like I said, imagine this is a shotgun here. You do not need impact on it. Even if you get the impact 6th perk, you do not need it. It does enough damage and has enough impact where it will throw them back and you'll spawn the explosion regardless. If you do not want this perk and you don't really like the health thing, but you want to try out the weapons, reload speed is what you would put in this 6th slot. The reload timers on these guns, on every one of them, is kind of long, sitting at 2.7 seconds for most of them. So 130% bonus damage, a perk within the gun itself that hits for up to like 400k every 3 kills without a cooldown on it in a basically 1 tile radius is not bad. The issue with the gun, and this kinda really kills it for me, is you can only roll it physical or fire. Because it's a blacksmith or Halloween? I don't know why. I have no idea why they do this. This kills it for me because I like putting energy on everything, because I like being useful in all situations, and I have so many guns and crap in my inventory that I don't have time to look and find my water silent specter and my fire wraith and my nature vacuum tube sniper. Now, another issue this incurs is that there are a few abilities in the game, specifically for the melee class, that could regen your shield so you could sit at lower health and feel better about it. There is bioenergy source, we'll talk about that in a minute, but they're all for energy based damage, which since you can't do that, it's all completely useless. Just a quick look at the build here. I don't want to spend too much time on it. You guys know how to build them. We have Critical Blast. We're playing Raptor. On a side note, because I know you guys are going to ask me, yes, it works really well on non-shotgun heroes too. I played it on Pale Luna and I played it on Base Kyle and still absolutely crushed it. It has a very large spread to it, so anything that's on your base will, as long as they're small guys, basically be one shot. It hits hard enough and has enough impact to where it's useful on constructors and has a wide enough spread as a get out of jail free AoE card if you need it on like a ninja or an outlander. It's a well-rounded shotgun. The issue is it has to stay physical or fire. I made all of mine physical. The last thing I want to touch on is we ran Totally Rocking Out, not Blast from the Past, although Blast from the Past does have some synergy with this. If you have high health, you're doing more damage, and if you have low health, you're doing more damage, and there's a nice even middle ground. I found Totally Rocking Out to be a little more bursty and more my playstyle, but you can try Blast from the Past. Lastly, Survivalist. Why do you want Survivalist if you're trying to stay low? Because eventually the gun will kill you, and you need to be careful and micromanage your health. But I just wanted to show you the build real quick. Try this one. I really enjoyed it, and maybe you will too. And that's it, guys. The Black Drum Shotgun. Remember, 130% up to 130% bonus base damage is up for grabs, so it definitely does have its unique perks and usefulness. Granted, it has to stay physical or fire, but regardless, I think it's a good enough shotgun to make the list. In fact, I would probably put it somewhere top 10. It's really, really strong. So pick it up, try it out, let me know. Also, please, if you have a moment, let me know what you think about the Storm King being in Battle Royale. I am very curious. As always, you can subscribe if you're new. It really helps out the channel. I stream 5 days a week over at twitch.tv/ROundedtiktak. And if you're looking for a way to support the channel, OOTiktak, OO is my creator code. Again, we're doing a charity event this Saturday. If you can come stop by, that'd be fantastic. I'll see you guys on the next one. Tiktak out.